So they found another. I think I've heard about these being found before, but Atari 2700, huh?
Yeah, prototype. Obviously, it never came out, but I had not heard of these before. Actually, have you?
Okay. Yeah, I think Gamester 81 owns one or knew somebody who had one and did a video on it a few years ago. It's kind of an interesting looking machine.
Yeah, I mean, what did they? They're just basically a 2600 with wireless controllers, right?
Yeah, and the wireless controllers are like super boxy. The basic shape is the same, and then it's just really deep, kind of on the bottom, from what I remember. It sounds like the problem was, at least with the prototypes they built, is like they didn't change the frequencies for the controllers, and they had a range of something like 50 yards. So you can imagine if they ever had mass produced that, you're probably screwing with your neighbor's console or the other one in your house if you had multiple. So it hadn't ever gotten past the prototype stage, though, so I'm sure that would have been addressed had they moved forward.
Sounds like the controllers were, though, like player specific. So like player 1 wouldn't mess with what player 2 is trying. So it's that channel, I suppose. But yeah, messing with your neighbors' games.
That sounds pretty awesome, actually.
Just sitting outside your neighbor's window, watching and screwing with them, it'd be all right.
Yep. Griefing 80s style.
I'd look up pictures of it, and I like the pull-out antenna for the controllers.
Yeah,
Fits for that time.
it's very classy. It feels very Radio Shack. Brings back good memories. And this was found like in a thrift store too, right? The guy got it for like $3 or something.
Yeah,
Just the
exactly.
system, no controllers, I think. But
Yeah. I was surprised that he immediately sold it on eBay,
right.
and it only went for $3,000.
See, I think that's exceedingly high because it doesn't have the controllers, and then just also because nobody gives a crap about Atari right now. I mean, I have good memories of Atari. I think they have a huge place in video gaming history, but I just think from a collecting market, that stuff is at an all-time low. So I think that probably plays into
In some
it.
ways, I would agree, but in other cases, not so. Like there's some rare stuff that still goes up, and it goes like crazy. I mean, if an air raid went up today, it would still probably break a record. You know?
Think so?
I think so.
Like for this, the idea behind it, I think there was an article I read that the guy from Atari had said that he only knew of 13 that were made as prototypes. So he found one of 13 possibilities.
Yeah. Well, I think they only know of like another 3 or something in existence. Or I mean, under half a dozen for sure.
Yeah, 3,000 seems really low. I mean, obviously the controllers are the more interesting part of this whole thing,
Right.
this whole setup. But
It's a crown jewel in your collection.